Well, good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is Mercury Day, the day of Hermes. I'm very pleased, I must say. This is one of my favorite days. Today, I would like to share with you. Let's see, what do I want to share with you? Sounds like something's playing music here. Hopefully, you're not hearing any music. If you do, I apologize in advance. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, today I'd like to share with you a prayer that I wrote to Hermes. Basically, what I did is I went through the epithets of Hermes that are available on the wonderful resource that is the internet. I chose to stick with mostly the Hellenic epithets and the ones that I understood the most. He's got a lot of names, it turns out. Hermes is just everywhere. One of the reasons I wanted to do the Academia Hermetica based around Hermetic principles, and the reasons I would stick with applied Hermetics as my, I guess, I don't want to call it a brand because it pisses everybody off in the internet. But yeah, basically the way I present things as the application of Hermetic principles in life. It's because everything is Hermetic when it comes to magic, at least in my experience in the Western version of occultism. I tended to travel the 1990s path up through, Wicca, chaos magic, all the stuff that was really popular at the time. It was interesting. I can't complain about my background. I did the Cunningham Wicca thing, and then let's see, chaos magic for a while with Robert Anton Wilson flavoring everything, and the Principia Discordia helping me understand basic life principles. If you're ever wondering about all of the mysteries of the occult and the Western mystery traditions, they are presented in the Illuminatus trilogy by Robert Anton Wilson. He has exposed all the secrets of the occult. Everything that I learned in the OTO was actually already published in a much more amusing way, and in the teachings of Aleister Crowley and the illumination that is available through studies of Crowley's materials. Basically can be found through LSD and Robert Anton Wilson. And you can skip a lot of the Victorian cosplay if you're interested in alternate means to achieve the same effects. So anyway, after that, I got into Donald Michael Craig and ceremonial magic and the Kabbalah, and eventually I found my way to Agrippa and got into more traditional stuff. And all along the way, Hermes was there, Thoth was there. This entity who is a writer god was overshadowing everything that I did. And if you look at the tools of Mercury and Hermes, as the magician, you have a wand, you have Crowley's the one that explained all this. All the tools of the magician can be seen as types of the tools of the scribe back in Mesopotamia, or the scribes in medieval Europe. There's a knife for cutting the feather. There was a pen for writing things. There was a cup that held the ink. There was the ink itself that was the fluid. All the tools of the magician. The wand itself is, in there somewhere. I can't remember which. It might be the pencil. I don't know. Basically, the magician has all the tools of the scribe, and the scribe has all the tools of the magician. And Hermes is the god of writing. Thoth is the god of writing. He wrote every single book that we ever will have. And, he is the author of all things. He really is the author who takes things. And then, I got into the whole spiritual mysticism thing with the logos and the word. And Hermes is all about, communications and things like that. So anyway, trying to get to know the actual deity Hermes was something I wanted to do, because when I when I participated in the Gens for Jupiter, one of the things I learned is that when you worship a god regularly and actually do the practices that go along with a devotional practice, you will eventually start to learn about the god. The god manifests itself in your life, and materializes things that you would otherwise have not realized were related to that god. So you start to become more and more like that god yourself. You have that god's effects. And I thought, I'm studying all this stuff about Hermes and Hermetics, and I want to be someone who helps teach and share and spread the information that I've learned, that I found useful in my travels. And I'd like to share that with other travelers, and I'd like to do it effectively under the umbrella of Hermes. So let's get to know this god, might as well know the symbol that we're adopting and that we think we know all about. Let's get to know the person, the personality behind this deity, because if I'm going to be telling people to pursue him, I feel like I should know what I'm talking about at least a little bit more than just having read about it in a book. So I started this devotional practice, conjuring Hermes, and one of the things that I did was write this prayer based on his epithets. And like I said, I picked the ones that I know the most about. So I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. Maybe if I can figure this out. There we go. So yeah. All right. So this is doubled here because I was going to put it up and have it be a thing that I could cut in half and have multiple copies of, because I always lose them. And it's something I like to carry around with me, because when you're out and about, having a internet connection is not always guaranteed, but having access to the paper in your pocket is almost 100% likely to happen. So yeah, so these are basically just the names of Hermes that are pretty well known. The ones that I particularly wanted to work with specifically, and the ones that I already knew something about. So I'll go ahead and read through this. It's really just a statement of the epithets of Hermes and what they represent and why someone would call upon them. It's very simple, straightforward prayer kind of thing. And please, I'm going to probably stumble over some of the pronunciations because I'm not Greek. I'm not Hellenic, and I don't know how to say some of these things, but I do my best. And the god does respond, and I'll get into that a little bit later. Hermes Agator, we call upon you, O ancient leader among the gods, who guides and teaches and shows the way. Hermes Epimelius, keeper of the flocks. Deus Heteris, companion of the feast. Epilos, sheep-tending shepherd. Mingle now the realms of the mortal and divine, bear offerings to the Olympic throne, and return to us Angelos, angel of the gods. Hermes Anagonis, god of the games, bring us favor in our contest. Train us in mind, body, and soul, in right action and informed intent. Maiados Huios, son of Maya, teach us the mystery of ecstasy. Keradotes, grant us joy. O Ariones, bring us luck and be ever ready to lend your aid. Hermes Catesios, protector of property, stand in the preservation and the growth of our wealth and prosperity. Hermes Tricephalus, three-headed, who waits at the intersection. Athanatas, Diactorus, immortal guide. Hermes Propylaeus, god of the gateway. Katabates Hermes, who conducts the shades into Hades. Hear us and bring us wit, luck, and joy in all of our endeavors. Guide us to the proper path, bless all of our works of wonder, and lead us in the way. So I offer that prayer today. One of the things that happened to me as I performed this prayer almost daily for weeks and weeks and weeks, I learned that, some days I'd have certain things I knew were coming up, and I would adopt just part of the prayer and refer to that as I went along. It mingled its way into a couple of blog posts here and there. Coming up with this kind of thing is really simple. It's just the epithets, what they mean, how they impact us, and what we want to experience of the deity that we're contacting. And it's funny, the more I focus on one piece of it, one epithet at a time, the more I got to know the person and the personality of Hermes. Because as you put this out into the universe, you know, the universe responds, and it sends it back to you, and it gives it back to you in ways that are sort of, you know, it's just like putting on a pair of glasses that are set to see at a certain distance. You know, you're setting yourself to the part of Hermes Agator, the leader among the gods. You know, Agator, when you look at the epithet, it's a name that's given to like three of the deities of ancient Greece, you know, and Hermes was the one who had it first up in Attica. He was the leader first before Zeus came along and became the leader in terms of historic places of power within the hierarchy. I just think it's funny that the oldest temples are showing Hermes at the top. Anyway, just funny how that works, what people value. But anyway, as you conjure Hermes Agator into your life, and you start to meditate on Agator, and you meditate on Hermes, and you meditate on what you know about Hermes, and you contemplate the epithet Agator, you start to learn things about leadership in a very hermetic way. And Hermes doesn't lead the way Zeus leads. And since for Jupiter, I discovered a type of leadership that is very patriarchal, you know, but with Hermes as a leader, the leadership of Hermes is more community oriented. It's more likely to be, what's the word? Team based. It's going to be agile. It's not going to be or waterfall. It's going to be organized. It's going to be structured. It's going to be a life cycle that progresses, that brings together all the pieces and parts of the different skill sets of the team to create something that is useful, you know, and it's going to flow. It's going to move from one phase to the next regularly without a lot of stopping, and sometimes it's hard to keep up with. But where Jupiter will dictate things, Mercury will solve things and come up with solutions rather than just telling other people to do it and empowering them to do it. You know, it's just a different approach. So this kind of thing is very useful to, I think, magicians. And today I just wanted to share that with everybody and kind of take a look at Hermes in a different light, and wish you all a happy Wednesday. Merry Miraculous. If you're traveling around, stay safe. All right. Take care, everyone. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot something. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I'm still a little clunky at this, but it will get better, I promise. All right. Thank you all.